I'm Gustafson, and today we're going to learn about how and why the heart works. So the first thing you need to understand when talking about the heart is you need to understand that the heart is a pump. And the first thing you need to know about pumps is pumps are transporting liquid to and from an area. And what the heart's going to transport is blood. And the blood's going to be transported through tubes called veins and arteries. And the heart has 4 chambers. It has the 2 atriums. It has a left atrium and a right atrium, and 2 ventricles, the left ventricle and the right ventricle. And that's going to be simulated in my balloon here. And so we have just a mock imagery of a right atrium, a left atrium, and a right ventricle and a left ventricle. And the 2 ventricles are going to contract at the same time, and the 2 ventricles are going to contract at the same time. And that's going to go something like this. So the atriums are going to contract first, followed by the ventricle contraction. And that's going to continue. And that's the heartbeat right there. Okay? And that's where you get the loved-up scenario. Alright, so now that we know how the heart beats, we're going to learn about a little bit more information. And so in order to learn about how the heart beats, you have to first learn about the blood. And so the blood that's going to be first entering the body the blood first entered the heart just came from the body. And what it's been doing in the body, it's been collecting CO2 as waste, and it's been depositing oxygen to all the cells in the body for energy. And so what the first thing is going to enter the heart, it's going to enter via the inferior vena cava, and it's going to enter into the right atrium. And the blood is going to enter into the right atrium. It's very high in carbon dioxide, and it needs a lot of oxygen. So once it enters the right atrium, it's going to then enter to the right ventricle. And the ventricle has a lot more force. It's a bigger force behind it. So that's going to push the blood out to the top via the pulmonary artery out to the lungs. And once it gets to the lungs, it's going to take all that carbon dioxide. It's going to breathe it out with your breath, and it's going to get more oxygen. And once it gets more oxygen through the lungs, it's going to come back into the left atrium. And once it goes to the left atrium, it's going to quickly be produced down into the left ventricle. And then once it goes to the left ventricle, it's going to go out via the aortic arch into the body. And once it goes out of the body, that's going to again be distributing that oxygen to the rest of the cells in the body, and it's going to be collecting out that CO2. And then the whole process will start over again. And so now that we know how the heart works, we need to know how is the heart pumping like that. And so it does that by electrical charge. And what's very special about the cells of the heart is that they can produce their own electrical charge, and that's called automaticity. All right? And electrical charge is going to start about right here. It's called the atrial node. And the atrial node is where electrical charge is going to start. And it's going to travel along something called internodal pathways. And they're going to connect down here at the atrioventricular junction. And once it gets to the atrioventricular junction, this electrical charge is going to speed up very quickly. It's going to travel down what's called bundle branches, and it's going to reach to the bottom of the ventricles. And once it gets to the bottom of the ventricles, it's going to reach some fibers called Purkinje fibers. And these Purkinje fibers are attached to the bottom of the ventricles. And what that does is it's going to stimulate the bottom of the ventricles to contract and force that blood out to the pulmonary artery and out to the aortic arch. And it's going to force that blood out the top of the heart. And that's how we get the electrical charge, and that's how the heart works. And another thing the heart can do is the heart can slow down and speed up voluntarily. And so when your body is speeding up, when your body is speeding up, it can, just like this, when your body is speeding up, your heart knows that it has to increase the pumpage to supply more cells with oxygen. And when your body is at rest, it knows that it can slow down, and it doesn't have to work as hard. So thank you for watching our video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. I know we had fun making it.